Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We appreciate that. We want to get right to the first alert forecast. So we'll say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for the details, and that rain kind of still moving through.
Yes.
Yeah, watch out, there's a frog.
We all get the frog in this studio.
I got it.
He just hops all over.
There's something in here.
It's contagious, that frog. Yeah, we are seeing some rain out there. The frogs love it, that's for sure.
That's true.
But we have an area of rain newly developed across Litchfield County that continues to move eastward with time. So some light to moderate rainfall, where we're seeing some of that moderate rainfall across southeastern Litchfield County. So once this little patch kind of moves through, eventually we're going to see a lull in the action for the front part of the day, and a stall front is going to cause more rain to develop into the afternoon, especially this evening and overnight. So we have 2 first alerts. So the one is for the short term, is for this afternoon into tomorrow morning, and then the second one is for Friday night into especially Saturday, the front part of the day. We're going to be talking about the remnants of Debbie moving in, heavy rainfall, flooding concerns. And speaking of flooding concerns, there's even that possibility for flooding tonight as we get some of that heavier rain building in across southern Connecticut. So keep that in mind. Keep up with any alerts you might get later today through the First Alert weather app. So there's one little batch of rain moving on through. Looking back to the west, not a whole lot happening at this point in time. So yeah, we catch a little break in the action. We're seeing, yes, gray skies to start off the morning hours. Torrington, temperatures in the generally in the 70s. And what we're looking at the day ahead features a little lull. So if you need to get outdoors, do a few things, do it late morning, early afternoon, because clearly you can see things are going to be changing late afternoon into the evening hours when increasing coverage of rain and storms with highs in the low 80s. We'll talk more about the future coverage of rain and storms and, of course, the future of what will be remnants of Debbie in about 15 minutes. All right, we'll send it back to you, Roger.
All right, good morning, Jill. Good morning, everybody. Listen, overall, your drive times are in terrific shape as we get going here on Tuesday morning. As you can see, just 34 minutes from Hartford to New Haven, which is great times. New Haven, the GW Bridge, 84 minutes. However, we do have one problem in Groton right now. I want to show you a picture that we got from the scene here. This was sent in to us from the Old Mystic Fire Department. You can see that a tractor trailer toppled right over on I-95 North between exits 89 and 90. The good news is, despite all this damage, nobody was seriously injured again, which is phenomenal. The bad news for drivers and people trying to get through that area is that there was a fuel spill. And because of that, one lane of 95 remains closed there between exits 89 and 90. DEEP is on the scene, cleaning that up and clearing the scene. But again, unless you drive around in Groton, you're in pretty good shape on this Tuesday morning. That is your first look traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, we've been staying on top of breaking news throughout the morning. Police investigating a shooting in New Haven. The violence played out on Congress Avenue. At this point, we're working to confirm some more information on the extent of the victim's injuries and whether police have a suspect. We'll keep you updated here and online.
This morning, we're learning some new details about a man who attempted to steal a New Haven police cruiser with an officer sitting inside.
And Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones is breaking down how this incident unfolded.
Even though this was a very unique situation, officers say they are familiar with the individual involved from previous arrests and encounters. Now take a look at this wild video captured on dash cam. According to officers, this all went down just before 10:45 Sunday night. Stacy Footman approached a New Haven police cruiser stationed outside on Congress Avenue. Officers Rios and Roche were working together that evening, and Officer Rios had just gone inside to write a report, leaving Officer Roche in the passenger seat. That's when officers say Footman demanded Officer Roach exit the cruiser. When he unlocked the doors, Footman climbed inside the driver's seat and attempted to drive away. Officer Roach said he prevented the cruiser from hitting another car by wrestling the steering wheel away from Footman. In the chaos, however, the cruiser crashed into a street sign, trash can, and clipped the doors of the Deliverance Temple Pentecostal Church. After the collision, Officer Roach said he found a small glass pipe in Footman's possession. Footman was arrested on scene for for the immediate charges, as well as 2 outstanding warrants. Officers add they're calling this a suicide by cop attempt, as Footman was heard yelling, "Shoot me," on the footage. Now, both Footman and Officer Roach do have small injuries. They're non-life-threatening, and both are expected to be okay. Footman is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. In New Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a house fire in Bridgeport. Crews rushed out to a home on Noble Avenue last night. The fire was under control in about 30 minutes. One person was treated for smoke inhalation, and the Red Cross is helping 3 others, including a teenager, find somewhere to stay.
New legislation ensures money is now available to help protect home health care workers. It's happening almost a year after a nurse was killed in Willimantic. Joyce Grayson was killed on the job last October. The suspect was a person who lived at the halfway house where Grayson worked. The new law provides $6 million in grants to improve security measures, including escorts, GPS technology, and an alert system.
People across Connecticut are dealing with major increases in their electric bills. Part of the problem here is that we do use more energy in the summer. We know that. But one part of our bill is also called the public section, and it has increased because the state owes utility companies hundreds of millions of dollars. And get this, customers are also paying off $400 million in unpaid bills.
It's important to point out here that supply and public benefits make up nearly 60% of your bill, and both of those items we do not control or profit off of.
State Senator Jeffrey Gordon is calling for a special session and argues that federal COVID funding should be used to help cover the costs. Governor Lamont says what the legislature must figure out is how to cut electricity costs. The increase will last for the next 9 months.
Well, 3 major cities in our state made a list of the top 75 deadliest for DUI crashes. That staggering stat comes from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has more on what state leaders will be discussing later today.
Well, Senator Blumenthal will meet in New Haven at 10 o'clock to discuss awareness and prevention of drunk driving here in this state. And we know that it's a big problem, and the numbers are here to prove it. From 2018 to 2022, they looked at the 75 deadliest cities for DUI. Hartford comes in at number 5, followed by Waterbury at 13 and New Haven at 60. Most of the accidents in those cities were deadly. And the bottom line, the senator, DOT, and traffic safety advocates want more done to put a stop to this. Right now, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act has a 3-year deadline for a final rule to issue a new federal motor vehicle safety standard. Now, this would equip cars with the technology needed to prevent drunk and impaired driving. Now, the deadline for this final rule is November of this year. Senator Blumenthal says he will urge the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to speed up finalizing the rules by the November deadline. Now, Senator Blumenthal's meeting is going to be at 10 o'clock once again in New Haven this morning. And just to anyone sitting at home right now, a reminder to you that it is never worth getting behind the wheel if you've taken some sort of substance or have had any drinks. The consequences could be deadly. In Rocky Hill, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We're tracking the latest information on Tropical Storm Debbie. Local leaders have issued a curfew in one area of Florida. The sheriff's office in Suwannee County says the curfew is a safety precaution after Debbie created heavy flooding and dangerous road conditions. Right now, the curfew is between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. Meanwhile, the city of Charleston, South Carolina is under a tornado watch right now as Debbie moves north.
Crews have restored power to homes in Simsbury, and the local roads there are back open after storms created some problems over the weekend. Homeowners can bring debris to the town landfill tomorrow and Saturday for free. Just bring your local ID with you, and there will be no curbside pickup this time around.
All right, some great news to share from Mystic. Mystic Aquarium's animal rescue crew members just released 2 critically endangered sea turtles. Look at these guys. A big crowd of people came out yesterday in Rhode Island to celebrate this happy occasion. Look how happy the spectators are, but I'm sure the turtles are the most happy. Can you imagine turtles happy?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
The
they're-
little baby ones
That's as
too.
fast as they can run.
Jumping with joy.
Running in the
Waddle
water,
or
yeah.
something.
Like
I
the
don't
frogs in
know.
here.
Goodness. And yeah, we were talking about, you know, rain. Some turtles might like the rain, of course, since they like hanging out in ponds and stuff like that. All right, we're tracking rain on the only live radar in the state. We're going to zoom in on a few areas, seeing some light to moderate rain. You get into, though, where you see the brighter colors. Bristol, for example, first alert for you to Plainville. That is a heavy downpour. So we're going to see some of this moving through this morning. Everything is tracking from west to east. Hartford starting to see some of that lighter rain building back in. 73 degrees, winds are light. We have 76 Groton versus 70, say in Salisbury. The day ahead features the morning round of showers, and then we get a lull late morning through the early afternoon before the coverage of rain and storms ramps up again, all due to a stall front. So we've issued a first alert for that. Locally heavy rainfall is going to be possible. And then we have Debbie remnants to deal with on Saturday especially, and we have flooding concerns. We're going to show you the updated track of Debbie, how it's going to relate to our weather, and let you know what's in store. And that first alert 70 forecast is just a few minutes away, so stick with us.